There's some people who want the practicality of a crossover, but also want the performance of a sports sedan. The Infiniti QX50 looks to fulfill that need for that small minority, and for 2016 it comes with a newly stretched wheelbase and updated styling. But is this enough to keep this vehicle competitive, or is it time for a complete redesign? Well, let's go ahead and check out this 2016 Infiniti QX50. Now, if you didn't know, the Infiniti QX50 was formerly known as the Infiniti EX35, and it hasn't been fully redesigned since the 2008 model year. It's almost been 10 years now. And this vehicle is really starting to show its age. Now, for 2016, you get these LED daytime running lights, and the vehicle is on a stretched wheelbase this time around, which is supposed to help out rear seat legroom, and we'll check that out later in the video. But as far as styling goes on the vehicle, it's not to my personal liking because it kind of looks like an egg in my opinion, but it has pretty muscular lines, especially on the front end of the vehicle. It's okay looking, but the Infiniti QX50 is based off of the former Infiniti G sedan. Now here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. It's your typical Infiniti intelligent key. You have your remote keyless entry, your lock, unlock, and then your panic alarm. Now this color is known as the Majestic White, and it comes with smart key access on the driver's door as well as the front passenger door. You also do have a full-on black leather interior. Power driver seat with your power recline and power lumbar. Now stepping on inside of the QX50 here, the step-in height is fairly low, especially for a crossover too. And the cabin design is okay. However, it's really starting to show its age. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a 3.7 liter V6. Full leather wrap steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, we have a 7-speed automatic, and you also do have manual shiftability. When you put the vehicle into reverse, this will tilt down the mirrors and it displays your 360-degree view camera, and you can access this anytime you would like by just pressing on the camera button right here. And that's a pretty unique feature. I wish more vehicles would do that. But you also do have a top-down view, and then cameras on the side mirrors, and then you have your normal rear view camera, and then you also do have guidance lines and trajectory too. You can change the different views if you would like. Very nice. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the lights. And you also do have fogs. Let's go ahead and turn on the hazards too. Driver's window and the front passenger window are fully automatic. Let's go and pop the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators. Now the Infiniti QX50 competes with other compact luxury SUVs like the Mercedes-Benz GLC, BMW X3, and the Acura RDX. You have 19-inch alloy wheels, fairly stylish looking wheels here. Our Infiniti QX50 also comes with the Premium package as well as the Premium Plus package. Coming up front, you have high-intensity discharge headlights. And you also do have LED daytime running lights below and front parking sensors. It's a very bulbous looking front end. Now, since the QX50's underpinnings are very related to the Nissan 370Zs, it's no surprise here that it also comes with the same power plant. It's a 3.7 liter V6 that produces 325 horsepower at 7,000 RPM and 267 pound-feet of torque at 5,200 RPM, with EPA estimates being an okay 17 in the city and 24 on the highway, running on premium unleaded fuel. and you could choose between rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. But overall, this is a very peppy powertrain. It provides a lot of power for the QX50, and it's certainly the sports car of the compact luxury crossover group. EPA estimates, like I said, are 17 in the city and 24 on the highway. Total vehicle price for our particular one is $43,130. On the top, you also do have roof rails. Crossbars are also optional. Coming to the rear of the vehicle, you have LED taillights, rear parking sensors, rear reflectors, and dual exhaust tips with a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster. All of your basic powered features, power windows, power door locks, and your power mirrors, memory seat settings for 2 people, and your chrome interior door handles. Build quality and materials are okay inside of the QX50 here. On the top right here, you have a nice soft touch upper door panel, mid door panel, and armrest. The dashboard is a nice softly padded material too. Build quality is also okay inside of here. No panel gaps or anything of that nature. Overall, interior quality is pretty good. However, the interior styling is certainly getting pretty dated inside of here. The steering wheel design is really dated too. It looks like it came out of 2009 or 2008. And coming over here, we have your steering wheel mounted audio controls, Bluetooth phone controls, and then you could change your different audio source from here too. And then right over here, you have your cruise control buttons. Up here, you have your auto dimming rearview mirror with garage home link, sunglass container, map lights, and your sunroof with your sunroof controls. Now this wood interior trim that you'll find throughout the whole entire vehicle certainly adds more contrast inside of here to a rather austere looking interior, I have to say. Now, coming right here, you have a little storage compartment and then a 12-volt power outlet. You also do have your heated front seats for the driver and the passenger. Then you have your snow mode right here, dual cup holders, and then you have a center console lid that's nice and soft touch and stitched. You'll find an okay amount of center console storage and a 12-volt power outlet, as well as a USB charging port. Now, as far as seating comfort goes, in the QX50, comfort is pretty good. There's lots of side bolstering, I have to say. If you're going around twisty canyon roads, these seats will certainly hold you in place. The thigh support is also excellent. Visibility, on the other hand, there's a decent amount of glass area on the front windows. However, the A-pillars are a little thick, and seeing out of the windshield can be a little bit difficult. But when you get to rearward visibility, that's when it can get really difficult due to a very sloping roofline and a very small rear quarter window. Now, coming to the climate controls, it's a pretty simple and clean looking layout. I wish the dials were just slightly bigger and the buttons were slightly bigger, but you do have dual zone automatic climate control. Your temperatures are on the dials right here, and then this is for the driver, and then this is for the front passenger. You have your fan speeds, and then you have your front window defroster, rear window defroster as well, and your recycling and your different zones too. Coming to the gauges, you have full instrumentation for the gauges. On the left, we have your coolant temperature and then your tachometer. It's a very traditional kind of setup. And then you have your fuel gauge as well as your speedometer. And then in the center, you have your vehicle information center that shows you what gear you're in, your trip odometer, and then your MPG. Now coming to the main head unit and the infotainment system, we've seen this many times here before, and it's a fairly dated looking system. However, it's pretty intuitive, which is interesting. It looks like it came straight out of 2009 rather than 2016, but this whole vehicle is dated by itself. But it's a very intuitive interface because it's very responsive, and the controls are pretty well laid out too. Now, like I said, I love how you can access the camera at any time you want, and it shows up on the screen, of course. Coming to your navigation, you can enter in your destination by voice, or you can manually put it in with the street address or the places too, and then you can have an address book if you would like. And then your map quality is pretty dated as well, but you do have live traffic and all that good stuff and points of interest. And then coming to status, shows you your climate control or what radio station is playing. Your different audio sources do include Bluetooth streaming audio, your auxiliary input, and USB port with iPod integration. And then you have your CD player too. Coming to info, shows you your fuel economy, maintenance, traffic info, weather info. You can do a map update. It also shows you your navigation version. There's many different settings that you could change from navigation, audio, display, clock, Bluetooth, volumes, and beeps. And you also do have your digital clock up here that displays at all times in the upper right hand corner. You could change the brightness of the display. You have a day and night mode, of course. And then down here is where you'll also find an analog clock, as well as your presets and your seek and track button, your tune knob, and your volume knob too. But overall, this is a very intuitive interface with great responsiveness. It's just very dated looking. Now, it's no surprise that the QX50 is somewhat fun to drive, since it's very related to the Nissan 370Z and the former Infiniti G sedan. It has very sharp reflexes, and the 3.7 liter V6 provides lots of power for this vehicle, and the vehicle handles pretty well around corners. It feels very nimble. To me, it's certainly the sports car out of compact luxury crossovers. And the ride quality is okay. However, there are other compact luxury crossovers that do ride a little bit better and are a little bit more plush in their ride quality. However, this vehicle is certainly very fun to drive. All right, and let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the car. Build quality and materials do follow through in the rear, which is nice. Now, since the new QX50 is on a stretch wheelbase, rear seat legroom is certainly better back here. And there's a decent amount, I have to say. Headroom isn't too shabby either. It's pretty comfortable back here. And you do have dual map pockets and rear air vents. And a rear center armrest with cup holders. And the seats themselves are pretty comfortable and pretty supportive. Overall, not too bad. All right. Now, cargo space isn't really the QX50's expertise. It doesn't have all that much cargo space. In fact, it's not even that much better than a Volkswagen Golf hatchback. However, these rear seats do fold down to maximize cargo space by pulling up on this right there. And they do fold down 60-40 split. However, if you are looking for a compact luxury crossover with more cargo space, I recommend checking out the Acura RDX. So the 2016 Infiniti QX50 is an okay choice for a compact luxury crossover, especially if performance and driving dynamics are your top priorities. However, this vehicle is just getting really dated all around, and it really needs a full redesign. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.